What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Meditations. Appreciate you guys coming by. Like this video if you will. Subscribe to the page and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. Links in the description below. So, I didn't want to make this video. I thought that some of this stuff should just be evident. Alright. But the more that I hear from the fish and geese out there, the more that I realize that they don't really seem to understand. So I figured I'd lay it out for them. Alright. Why do we need boomsticks? And I'm not just talking about any boomstick. I'm not talking about the little single shot, crack the barrel, put one in there, boomstick, all right? I'm talking about the boomsticks that have the 30 round magazines. You know what I'm talking about? I have a slew of them, various kinds. Because you could say, well, Iceman, why do you need the boomstick? Why can't you just have a little lever action boomstick or a pump action boomstick? I mean, I have those as well, a pump action one at least. But there's a very, very significant and impactful reason as to why it is essential to have access to the boomsticks that hold a lot of boom. All right, and I don't think it's the answer most expect. Because, you know, they'll argue, well, you just need something for hunting. You don't need the boomsticks because the police will protect them. We all know that that's not true. The police can't get there until after the crime, you know what I mean? You got folks breaking in other people's houses, 3 or 4 at a time, stealing a bunch of shit, ransacking the place, raping the wife, killing the man, and getting the hell out of there, you know? So, yeah, the popo, they're not always going to be there. And even if they were, I mean, why the hell would you rely on that? Why the hell would you rely on somebody else for your safety? Especially when violent crimes are on the rise. You know what I mean? Just the probability is increasing every hour, it seems. Even if that weren't the case, so what? If you have a brain and if you're able to think and you're able to perceive, you'd realize that, okay, if I'm living in a world that has death and suffering and problems, and there are other people here, there's always the chance that these other people here are going to try to steal my shit, or going to try to beat my ass, or break into my house, or whatever. Take my woman, rape the shit out of her, or leave her for dead. You know what I mean? Who knows? It's just all these probabilities are probable. And the more uneasy times become, the more increasing these situations become. So, I don't think we need the boomsticks because we're going to fight some big government someday, you know? Of course, I think that's why the Second Amendment exists, doesn't it? To overthrow a tyrannical government. But I mean, these guys have nukes and tanks and all that shit. And they're basically the civilians anyway. So I guess you could say, well, it'd be more practical to fight against an invading government, which is true. Especially when you have other countries that are growing in number, right? You have the big red dragon country who's been making our cheap shit for decades now because of unfair trade laws and all the things that our politicians have done to screw us over. So they're making all of our shit for really cheap, arguably through slave labor. And I think it's probably foolish to think that that's the end goal. You know, they're making us the cheap shit while building up their army. So, I mean, what can you put 2 and 2 together? You know, what's going to come out of that? You really think Big Red Dragon Country just wants to keep making our shit for cheap just because they want to be nice or something? They just want to keep giving us cheap shit and it just gets cheaper and cheaper and we don't make any of it anymore. Totally reliant on them while they're building up their army. You see what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of reasons as to why it's the good idea for me to have some boom boom. All right? And it all has to do with protection and self-preservation and survival. All right? And it has to do with your loved ones. I have this dog here as well. You know? Nice little doggy, German Shepherd. And so, the reason why it's good to have a boomstick with a lot of boom, the answer is for zombies. All right, now let me explain. You guys remember when the whole sniffles thing came about, the flu and all that, and they shut everything down, and they talked all over the media, this and that, shut down businesses, or when so-and-so gets elected, and the media tells them, oh, Orange Man bad, this and that, Orange Man racism, sexism, this and that, and then all of a sudden you get these hordes just destroying property, ripping people around, beating the shit out of people, breaking into businesses, beating the shit out of people. A couple of people die. All sorts of things burning, right? A couple $1 billion in damage. Just not giving a shit, you know what I mean? Just hordes and hordes of zombies. Hordes and hordes of brainwashed zombies. So the more destable a civilization becomes, the more of a reason to have a means of protection, because the more likely these zombies are going to make it to your damn neighborhood. And I don't want to just bend over and let them fuck me in the ass. I'm interested in protecting my life and the lives that I care for. You know what I mean? I'm interested in the self-preservation of my life and the lives of my loved ones, including my doggy. I'm interested in survival, which is why I have a bunch of food storage, a bunch of boomstick ammo, some silver and gold. I mean, I'm far from being optimally prepared, but I'm far better off than the average folk, you know? I don't live in that bad of an area, but I mean, you just got to look at the big cities, right? Like how close is the big city to you? Because that's where the zombie hordes start. And when you have people in your government who say, yeah, let's not let the National Guard intervene with this, and they should continue to riot or protest or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? It's just those horrors eventually, with the after the destruction of the economy, the old saying goes, the whole world or whatever is like 2 meals away from chaos. So, like if gas is on a shortage, people start getting chaotic, you know what I mean? They get in fights, they fight over shit. We saw what they did with the toilet paper. You know what I mean? I don't know why so many people still use toilet paper. Just a bunch of nasty barbarians. That shit doesn't clean anything. But yeah, they all use toilet paper. Even more fuel for my argument that these are a bunch of zombies that we're dealing with here. And they're 2 meals away from chaos and havoc and world wreckage. All right. So the reason you need something that does a lot of boom boom without reloading is because it's going to be you versus a bunch of zombies. You know what I mean? And these zombies are going to have, like, who knows? I mean, a lot of them won't have anything. They'll just have their hands in their mouths and they'll eat you. But some of them will have knives. Some of them will have boom boom sticks. Some of them will have pitchforks. Some will have bars, crowbars. I don't know what they're going to have. They could have anything. And the more that come into your house and try to rape your wife and beat the shit out of you and rip your fucking eyes out, the more of a demand there is to have a couple boom boom sticks that go boom 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 a lot. All right? So that's why it's important to have the boomsticks that go boom a lot. Because Popo ain't going to be there for at least 10 minutes. And by the time the 10 minutes is there, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And the more the world descends into chaos, the less of a likelihood there will be that the Popo is going to be able to show up in time. You know, or the less Popos are going to be there. I mean, Popos can't even do anything now, can they? Yeah, isn't it like attack, like defund the Popo, this and that, like get rid of the Popo? I mean, all these idiots keep saying this shit. So that basically says, well, okay, if there ain't no popo, then I guess we got to take things into our own hands. So don't tell me to defund the popo and also give the government my fucking boomsticks, and you fucking retard. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know what your thoughts are on that, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace be with you.